All right, we're joined now by Bally's NFL correspondent and social media darling, Emmy Agar.
I like that.
And I want to just say this. I want to say this for the record. I was an Emmy Agar fan before it was cool to be an Emmy Agar fan. I feel like everyone is now on board, but I was there early.
Like Josh Jacobs.
Like Josh Jacobs, yeah, no. But Annie and I know each other personally. We've known each other for a while, and you do great work, so much fun. What a crazy ride! I don't even have a question for you, really, other than when you made your first Zoom meeting video. Did you ever think you'd be on Radio Row being interviewed by a ton of people?
Not at all. No, and people ask me this a lot. I always wanted to be here. I wanted to be at this level or get to, a bigger network or ESPN, but I didn't really know how to do it. And everybody I'd spoken to in the industry said, you got to go through local news. There's a way to start in this industry. And social media opened up a whole new world I didn't even know about. So when I did the first video, it was during COVID. I was covering local news at the time, and local news kind of stopped, right? We didn't have local sports to cover, so I didn't really have work for the first time in the years and years that I'd worked, And I got on TikTok and did a video, and I think it just was the right time because we were missing that comedic relief that we could get from sports in general. We weren't talking about sports because everything kind of shut down. So I think it just was the right time to start a video like that. And when somebody had put it on Twitter, I didn't even put it on Twitter, and that's where it really blew up. It had like 2 million views overnight, and I realized this is a time where people need to laugh, and we need to remember sports is still around,
Yep.
So for some people that for some reason have never seen one of Annie's videos, but in essence, she does Zoom meetings where she impersonates somebody from every NFL team, and they're all going back and forth. And for some reason, they always turn contentious. They're never nice. They're never nice.
Productive either. Have you ever noticed?
They're never
we never
productive.
get anything done.
But what I love, and I was just wondering if this was a choice, if you tried this and it failed, but one of the things that I love about the videos is you make no attempt at impersonation. It's literally just you in a different jersey or shirt representing the team. But you don't change your hairstyle or anything like that, other than like every once in a while if there's a joke for it. But
yes.
It's like Tom Cruise in Valkyrie, where Tom Cruise decides not to go German. He's just Tom Cruise. But it's better that way. It's better that way.
But
you're Tom Cruise in Valkyrie.
I
You're
never
Tom
even
Cruise in
noticed that.
Valkyrie. Wait, but did you try different accents and then you're just like, no, screw it, I'm just gonna. Was that? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. I never even thought about that. There was a bit that I did with Bally's for a while where I would do, I would do the coaches' pressers for college football, and I would try and impersonate their, like Saban and his accent, and his mannerisms and stuff. But it plays so much better, I think, in video format when it's jumping so quickly. If it all sounds the same, because then it feels more like it's a bunch of people in one room actually having a meeting. So maybe that's, and plus I'm changing shirts in the moment. So to fix my hair and then change the jersey and remember what I'm going to say and have a reaction to it's kind of difficult.
Well, and the best part is that when you started out now you've upgraded your budget and your wardrobe. But before it was literally just you pasted logos on your T-shirt, you printed out the low rent quality of it. I think was what was charming about it.
Yeah, there was, I think for a while I just had the jerseys from my childhood. We had a couple Manning's jerseys and Aaron Rodgers and all those kind of things. But for a while I would say no to jerseys being sent to me for certain teams because there was something so right about playing the New York Jets and having a logo falling off your shirt. I just felt like that was really fitting. So some teams I didn't get a shirt for a while, but then the NFL shop has been great and sent me stuff, and teams reach out and send me stuff. So I'm like, you guys know that if you send me stuff, I'm putting you in the video and I'm going to roast you. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'll take the jerseys.
And you mentioned Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
When he says stuff like the darkness retreat thing, do you just light up? Because it's just he's a content machine.
It really is. Sometimes it just writes itself.
Yeah.
I don't even I could just sit back and let Aaron write all my scripts for me. Somebody asked me yesterday, they were like, could you imagine anything worse than sitting in a room of darkness for 4 days? And I said, yes, being a Packers fan.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm done with Aaron. We can, I'd try. I'd go to bat for that man so many times.
Annie, take me through the process of it, because what I'm impressed with is not only the because it's a lot of production values. You have to shoot all the things you do as a Lion, and then you have to shoot all the things you do as a Packer, right? And then you edit all together. But I'm always impressed by how quickly they come out after the week. So take me through your process. The games start, and then are you writing jokes throughout the games? Take me through your process from the start of a week until when the video gets out.
Yeah, so Monday's the longest day. Sunday, I obviously watch games all day, watch Red Zone. I'll stream maybe 2 other games or whatever the bigger storylines are. And then I'll kind of write notes of what happened, like the standout plays and things that I think I can make a joke out of. If jokes come to me during that, I'll kind of write them down. But then Monday, I wake up super early and I'll either put on NFL Live or a podcast or whatever is recapping the games to kind of remember what happened, go through all my notes, and from about 7 to 3 in the afternoon, I'll go through game by game and kind of read what fans are talking about, like what plays they were upset about or how they felt about a certain play. And then I'll hopefully come up with jokes based on that. And then I shoot my video from 3 to like 6 or 7, and then I'll edit during Monday Night Football. Hopefully be done with like the first round of edits by midnight, and then I wake up super early and finish editing and hopefully get it out by like 10.
Is there like a roasting spectrum for you where you get to the point with some team or player where all of a sudden it kind of feels awkward? Like I think we dealt with this on the show with Zach Wilson, where it just kind of became awkward to talk about how poorly he was playing.
Over and over, yeah.
Do you get to that point with your content?
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing with comedy in these videos. I can do a very insulting joke, but if I do it from the NFL shirt, people know it's like a joke coming from my voice. But if I do it from a Cowboys shirt, people will think, well, yeah, because Cowboys fans would say that. It's the funniest thing. Like, I could take a shot at the Eagles in a Cowboys jersey, and people are like, oh, yeah, I would say that too. But if I did it from my own voice, it seems really mean. So I think I can get away with it that way. Right. But like the Zach Wilson thing, I laid into him week after week, and it got to a point where I thought, okay, this guy's a kid. Like, I'm ripping into him, I probably should back off a little bit. But then I just have like some other team do it.
Have you ever heard from a player that you've roasted that have been like, hey, what, have you ever gotten any negative feedback?
Ironically, Zach Wilson, before the whole quarterback situation, reached out to me. I think it was right after he got drafted. And because I made a video about the Heisman candidates and when he was at BYU and stuff like that, and I said something about when it still was in Zoom call format, I made some joke about his mom having to log him into the Zoom call. So he DM'd me right after I posted it, and I thought, oh, good Lord, this now NFL quarterback is going to come on and just yell at me. And he's like, I sent it to my mom. She thought it was hilarious. Like, great content. So I don't think he would say that anymore now that I've roasted him 3 weeks in a row. But other than that, the guys seem like Adam was really cool. I just talked to him. Yeah. They all know. Hopefully it's a joke, and I try not to take shots that they're not already expecting or they know it's going to come.
And you do a good job. A lot of your jokes are more team-based than individual player-based, and things that happened in the game. Last question for me. So one of your very first viral videos you did was you were basically poking fun at the Big Ten schools. And I know that's the area of the country that you grew up in, right? So NBC, our company here, is now a partner with the Big Ten. We're going to be airing Big Ten football in primetime on NBC next year. What do we need to know about Big Ten fan bases?
That's a good one. There are so many. That's why I did the Big Ten first, because it's so easy to stereotype. Northwesterns are a bunch of nerds. Nobody thinks that they're good at football until they are. Right. Wisconsin, like a bunch of big guys, cornfields in Iowa, all this kind of stuff. It's just so easy to pick apart the Big Ten. Michigan especially, because that's where my hometown is. Michigan and Michigan State rivalry is probably my favorite. Michigan fans think they're just the best thing. They're God's gift to this planet, I'm telling you. And as you can tell, we're all Michigan State fans in this house. But then Michigan State fans are like the partiers, don't really take anything seriously. So it was so easy to just put those stereotypes into a video, and I think that's what I did first, or why I did it first.
Well, listen, we will all follow you on pretty much any social media platform at Annie Agar, and continued success doing that, and at Bally's being their NFL correspondent.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
guys. Have a great Super Bowl week. Thanks, Annie.
I appreciate it. You too.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.